Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu. Try ki jai. Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu try. Srinivas Shyamananda Jai.
Jarinam Sankirtaniki, Bhakti Deviki, Shri Radha Krishna, Kapatipinath, Shamakanda Radha Kunda Kiri Govardhanaki, Deviki, Shri Bhagavati Yogamayaki, Shrimati Tulasi Maharani Deviki, Gopishwar Mahadevaki, Jagannath Baladeva Subhadideva, Sridhasan Chakracheturam Tatagopinathaki, Shinga Bhagavan ki, Bhakta Pravara Prahlad Koti Vaishnavanda ki, Samarata Bhaktivinoda ki, Jai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol. Page 96. What's the topic going to be today? I'll make a note for the people. Continuing with this first chapter, from verse 8 or 9. Oh, I'll just let it be. Go ahead.
O Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, be merciful to me, except for you, who in this material existence is so full of compassion.
The reason for your descent is to deliver the fallen souls. O Lord, you will not find anyone else as fallen as me.
O Nityananda Prabhu, who are always joyful in ecstatic love, glance upon me with compassion, for I am very sorrowful.
O Advaita Gosai, husband of Sita, be kind to me. By the power of your mercy, I can surely attain Sri Chaitanya's Nitai.
Alas, O Swarup Damodara Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and Raghunath Das Goswami. O Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Sri Jiva Goswami. O my master, Lokanath Goswami, give me your mercy.
O Prabhu Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das begs for the association of Ramachandra Kaviraj.
Jai. So this is begging for mercy to specific personalities and telling about those personalities. For example, the two first verses are praying directly to Sri Krishna Prabhu. And he's saying that Toma Bina Ke Dayalu Jagata Samsari. Jagata Samsari means in this entire material existence, this universe, who is there except for you that can be so full of compassion? And then he says, you have come to save the fallen souls. This is the very reason. So, therefore, since this is your reason for descending, I want to place my own case in front of you for your consideration. Right? Mo samo patita prabhu na paivayar. Mo samo patita means as fallen as me. So he's actually telling to Lord Chaitanya that you will not find anyone as fallen as me. Now, woe is me, or, you know, my situation is so dire, you know, like this, praying, ha ha, oh Prabhu, I'm begging to you.
Alas.
Alas, alas. You know? So, Prabhu Nityananda, now I'm begging to you, Prabhu Nityananda, because you are always filled with the ultimate happiness, Prem Ananda Sukhi. That's why his name is Nityananda. He's always exhibiting this highest level, and in fact all the rest of the other Jagai and Madhais, namely us. How would we be delivered? If Lord Nityananda was discriminating, they don't deserve. These were, they're very deserving. No, that's Nitai. So now he's praying to Lord Nityananda, and he's saying, Kripa bolo kanakoro ami boro duki. He's saying, you please glance upon me with compassion. This krip avolokana, alokana duki. So, you are Premananda Sukhi, and I am Boroduki. So you please give me your merciful glance. Then he prays to Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, Advaita Gosai, and he's saying that Advaita Prabhu, you are the husband of Sita Devi, because Advaita Acharya's wife is Sita Devi. He's always known as Sitapati. So he's saying, oh, please be merciful. Doya koro Sita. Oh, that will enable me to attain Chaitanya and Nitai. See, so there's a sequence here. And then, after that, he's praying to Swarup Damodar Goswami and the 6 Goswamis, and his own Gurudev Lokanath Goswami, who we heard about yesterday. And he's praying, Ha ha Swarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunath Bhatta Juga. Bhatta Juga means the 2 Bhattas. That means Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta accepted him as their Siksha Guru. And then the disciple of Srinivasacharya, or in other words, Ramachandra Kaviraj, he's praying, he's begging at the end of this song, Ramachandra Sangamage Narottama Das. I am always begging, this Narottam is always begging for the Sangha, the association of Ramachandra. So they had a very, very intimate relationship. And their relationship was not just and called him back. So their relationship is very well known in many songs. Narottam Das Thakur is speaking about Ram. And Ramachandra Kaviraj is also the brother of, which other Kaviraj? Govinda Das Kaviraj. Yes. So this is, Prabhupada also recorded this song. It was one of the first songs that he recorded very early when he got his tape recorder. And he's begging. It's a begging song. And this is a song that we respond. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Karo More Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Karo More Toma Bina Ke Dayalo Jagata Samsari Toma Jagata Samsari Toma Vina Ke Dayalo Jagata Samsari Atita Pavana Hitu Pavaya Nakai Go Now we're continuing with our daily reading and study of the first chapter of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the introductory verses, introductory slokas. We're up to sloka 8 at this point. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnanam Janashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pandam Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Taranam Vancha kalpataru yascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha namo mahavadanyaya krishna prema pradayate krishnaya krishna chaitanya namne gaura trise namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Bhaktya Vihina Aparadha Lakshay Kshiptascha Kamari Taranga Madhye Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Vrindai Tulsi Devyai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Ashtotarasata Sri Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. And then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat pranams and Shraddha Pushpanjali unto the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Siksha Gurudevs, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Ashtotarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, and Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Ashtotarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And I'm offering my Dandavat pranams to all of my Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga. And I'm offering my Dandavat pranams to all the Vaishnavas and the Vaishnavis. So the verse number 8 in chapter 1 is, as I told, composed by Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami. And this is the first of 5 shlokas that he composed glorifying Lord Nityananda and describing Lord Nityananda's tattva, Nityananda tattva. And actually it's verse number 7 is the first. We're on the second one. We read last night, but we did not explain it very much. Yes. So I'm reading verse number 7 again, so that we can read all of these in sequence today. Verse number 7 through 11. 5 different shlokas. So, Sankarshana Karanato Yashai, Garbhodashayi Chapayogdashayi, Sheshashchayas Yangsa, Kala, Sanitya Nandakya Rama, Sharanam Mamastu. May Sri Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarshan, Sheshanaga, and the Vishnus who lie on the Karana ocean, the Garbha ocean, and the ocean of milk are his plenary portions and portions of his plenary portions. So, there are 5 different forms being mentioned here as being the forms that Lord Nityananda manifests himself as. Now, we've discussed this for 2 days. So what are those 5 forms?
Sankarshan.
Yes. No. That's later on in other verses. This is just his direct expansions and expansions of his expansions. Okay. So Sankarshan then. Actually, this is mentioned in this order. Sankarshan, then Sheshanag. Sankarshan, then Sheshanag. Then the 3 Vishnus. Name the 3 Vishnus. Yes. Yes. Kshira. Or Kirodakshai. So, what are these 3 Vishnus? What are they doing? They're called Dakashai. That means they're lying down. All these 3 Vishnus are lying down. First one is lying down where? Karana. Yes. And from him, what is happening?
Universes are coming from his pores.
Yes.
And he's breathing.
Yeah, while he's breathing also. Because of his breath, when he exhales, the universes emanate. And when he inhales, they come again back inside of him.
He's in trance.
Yes, he is in a mystic sleep called yoga, what? Nidra. Okay? So that personality is far beyond our comprehension, but there's a verse dedicated to him. We cannot imagine. We can imagine, but we can't fathom. That you mean to tell me that the entire length of the duration of our universe, which is stretching to 311 trillion years, which is the lifespan of Lord Brahma, is one single breath? not even 1/2 of a breath. Exhale. And when he inhales, all come back in him. But this is the truth. And there would be no other way for us to know these truths unless we were hearing it from the disciplic succession, which originates with the Supreme Lord himself. Otherwise, there's no way to know. The scientists will never be able to penetrate beyond the walls of this universe, or, practically speaking, any living entity. The shell, the covering of this universe, this is not possible for any living entity to see beyond that. But we know that Lord Krishna, he took Arjuna there. You remember, in the 10th canto? You probably read this story to your children, right? Right? So, and why did Krishna go there? He went to see Mahavishnu because the sons of his teacher, or was it one son? He couldn't get them back. So he had to go there. No, it was that's a different story. No, it's Arjuna, yes, who was trying to protect the son of... Yes, because, was it that he was cursed? You'll have to remind me, actually.
Brahman had a bunch of stillborn babies.
And then he went and complained to the king, and
Right.
that's why Arjuna came.
That's right.
Because he's like, what kind of a king are you?
Yes.
If you can't even protect the children.
But wasn't there also where he was going to protect one particular one?
Yeah,
This
then
is
the next
son.
one.
The next one.
Yeah.
And then he came out and was all
Yes.
go and get him.
Right.
And then he was going to kill himself if it didn't work. So
That's
like
right, because he had taken a vow. Right. So then Krishna arranged that we will locate him. We will locate these jivas. To go beyond the coverings of the universe. And if you read in the Srimad Bhagavatam how great are the coverings of the universe, each one is 10 times that of the previous. I mean, we can't even imagine. Actually, it means that the space inside is very tiny in comparison with the shell. Very tiny.
Yeah.
10 times, 10 times, 10
No.
times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If it were like a foot, then it would be a mile to the outside edge, something close to that. It's
So it's very big. But yet Krishna, on the chariot, went with Arjuna beyond the universal coverings. Then they went into the, what's it called again? The area between the... No.
Didn't they go through?
Viraja.
Oh yeah.
The river Viraja.
River.
Yes.
The dividing line.
Right. And they went into the causal ocean area. Material and the spiritual world. That's where Lord Vishnu lies. And then they met Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu was very respectful towards Krishna. And he admitted that actually, I've brought you here, I've taken away these children to have your... This is one of the important that shows that even the expansions of the Lord, they're very attracted to Krishna. They are Krishna, by type, but still they're different. So in this way, the form of the Lord who lies in the causal ocean, actually Prabhupada said, you know, when he first came with his Srimad Bhagavatams, you've probably seen pictures. Srimad Bhagavatam covers. Prabhupada designed explanation on the cover of the spiritual dark cloud this area known as the Karana Ocean. So he's saying sometimes, but in actuality, it's always creating and destroying. These three Vishnu forms they're not eternal manifestations. In other words, they don't exist in the Vaikuntha region, because many of the avatars, but they are extensions of the Lord. And we have to understand this about Lord Nityananda. It's very essential that Nityananda Tattva has to be understood before you read the Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's why he put it in the very beginning. Because we have to know who is Mahaprabhu and who is Nityananda, who are the Padmanabha. You have to know this. Nanda and Mother Yashoda, who's doing the killing of those demons, it is the Vasudeva feature inside of Krishna. So that Vasudeva feature, Lord Balaram, is actually Krishna. We were explaining that the other day in great detail. Balaram is none other than Krishna himself, otherwise how he can dance the rasa dance? He's Krishna. He's this. That's the difference. This is the beginning point at which the Supreme Absolute Truth wants to serve himself. And by what happens? By the service, he tastes praying for himself, taking the position of servant. So later on, when we go into that chapter, into this fifth chapter of the Adi Lila, which is all about Lord Nityananda, then we'll hear more details about Lord. Means your power of your mercy is very, very powerful. So I'm very unhappy. Ami Boroduki, Narottam Das Thakur is saying, I'm very duki. I'm very unhappy. But you, please, you give me your mercy and make me happy. That's what Lord Nityananda wants to do. He's always seeking someone to give his mercy to, you see. So this incarnation of Gaur Nitai said that there is no form of the absolute truth that comes closer to the jivas than this form of Mahaprabhu. He is coming so close to the jivas and Lord Nityananda. But yet, who is he? He's the source of the entire Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, all the universes, and finally, the very super soul in every living entity's heart. He is the Antaryami. That is Lord Nityananda. So, the more that we have this attachment to Lord Chaitanya in a very personal way, it is very similar to the mood of the Brijbasis. The Brijbasis, they never know that Krishna is the Supreme Absolute Truth from whom everything comes and the Supreme Controller. No, they don't know. So similarly, in Navadvip Dham, they also don't know. And even from his childhood, this little Nimai was the object of everybody's vision. They loved him so much, like in Braj. Krishna is loved by everyone. So similarly in Navadvip Dham, those same personalities, Mother Yashoda, came as Mother Sachi, like this. So he's now, Krishnadas Kaviraj, quoting the verse written by Srila Damodar Goswami. He's saying, may that Sri Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. And he's meditating upon him as being the source of Sankarshan, Sheshanaga, and the 3 Vishnus who lie on the Karna ocean, the Garbha ocean, and the ocean of milk. And these are called his Amshas and Kalas. Amsha means part, and Kala means part of that part, plenary part, it's called, plenary portion, Kala. So now, yesterday we read this verse, I'm reading it again. This is the second of the 5 verses. Now he's talking this form of Sankarshan, the first form being mentioned, Sankarshan. So, Maya tite vyapi vaikunta loke purnaishvarye shri chaturvyuha madhye rupam yasyodvati sankarshanakyam tam shri nityananda ramam prapadye. At the end of each verse, he says, Tam shri nityananda ramam prapadye. That means I surrender, prapadya. I surrender to that Sri Nityananda Ram. So I surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, who is known as Sankarshan, in the midst of the Chaturvyuha. Now this is where the Chaturvyuha comes, who was mentioning, you were mentioning before. Asking Sankarshan, or... Yeah. Right, so the Chaturvyuha are these 4 forms of the Lord from whom all other Vishnu forms emanate. And in the spiritual Vaikuntha planets, eternal Vaikuntha planets, 4 forms manifest in unlimited expansions on each planet. And it's also described that those Vaikuntha planets are bigger than our entire universe. And there's unlimited numbers of Vaikuntha planets. You have to try to just get one little tiny grasp of Vaikuntha also means without limit. The word Vaikuntha, it means free from anxiety, but it also means limit. So here in the material world, everything is measurable. Srila Sridhar Maharaj speaks about this quite a bit. How everything here is measurable. Time, measurable, past, present, future, space, size, measurable. And the material brain is always trying to measure. This is the problem of the conditioned souls. They're always trying to examine and measure everything for their sense gratification. But in the spiritual world, in Vaikuntha Loka, everything is unlimited. Everything. And the highest planet in the spiritual Vaikuntha realm is Goloka Vrindavan. And that Goloka Vrindavan is the unlimited planet. And that unlimited planet expands itself into the material universes when Krishna comes. All of Goloka Vrindavan, the whole Braj Mandala, everything, it's unlimited in size. And in Navadvip Dham as well. We learned that from Lord Nityananda when he took Jiva Goswami to visit the 9 islands of Navadvip on Parikrama. And they came to the island of Godruma. And there's a place called Surabhi Kunj. Surabhi Kunj. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote about Surabhi Kunj. Whole song. Because that's the place where Lord Nityananda, he started a marketplace in Godruma, Surabhi Kunj. That marketplace was called what? Namhata. Hata means market and Nam means holy names. So that marketplace is the place from which Lord Nityananda began his distribution of the holy names. When he returned back to Bengal, that was his place of distribution. So there's a story about the previous creation, during the previous creation, because day, there's a partial devastation of the universe, not full. And during that time, is a very, very long period of time. So there was one sage named Markandeya Rishi who had a benediction that he could not die for 7 kalpas. Very long time. 7 kalpas means 7 days of Lord Brahma. So that's like, more than 50 billion years in earthly time. So what did he do during the devastation period when waters of devastation are going everywhere? He was only floating, but he couldn't die. But it was very exhausting for him. Being here and there, under the water, everything. Lament everywhere. Oh, why did I accept such a benediction that I can't die? Anyway, he fell unconscious. Yeah? And then, before he fell unconscious, from a distance, he saw this glowing region in the distance. Nothing but water everywhere, but then this glowing region. And then he fell unconscious. Next thing he knew, that he's lying there on the bank of the ocean, of the waters. And there's a very beautiful cow. And the cow is feeding milk to Markandeya Rishi. Now, who is this cow?
Suravi?
Yeah. Why is the cow there? Where'd the cow come from?
Indra?
Yes.
Indra came to Lord Brahma, to Lord Krishna to apologize.
That's right.
He brought it there.
Yeah, because Krishna's heart becomes affected by these transcendental cows. And he thought, oh, I'll have a good chance of winning Krishna's favor again, because I've done such an offense, so I'll bring Surabhi, and Surabhi Devi came along. And then after that pastime, then Surabhi was leaving, and Surabhi flew over the area where Navadvip is. And she came down in Navadvip, and she understood that this is the very place of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's pastimes. There on that island of Godruma, and the word Godruma means cow and tree. Druma means like a banyan tree, big banyan tree. So,
Well, there is a big banyan tree there, right?
yeah, nothing compared to that time.
Right.
There's a banyan tree there,
Yeah.
just like at Keshi Ghat, Vamshivat, there's a banyan tree, but nothing compared to during that time,
Yeah,
So this banyan tree and the very land where she came is the very eternal Dham of Navadvip, which is part of Braj Mandala. Did you know that? That Navadvip is actually part of Braj Mandala. Did you know that? There are 2 sides of Braj Mandala, Radha and the other side sometimes referred to as Shveta Dvip, which is where Gauranga Mahaprabhu and all of his Braj associates, they've taken their forms in Gaur Lila, and they're constantly, eternally relishing praying Nam Sankirtan. So Mahaprabhu's form that appears in this world is also there eternally and performing his pastimes, which are his Ashtakaliya Lila pastimes. This is one of the points that Srila Gurudev made about the difference, because there was some discussion back when Gurudev was doing these Puri Dham Parikramas, and it was brought to Gurudev's attention that a certain Acharya figure was saying that Sri Jagannath Puri is very superior abode and is non-different than Vrindavan. Someone was stating like this. And Gurudev, he did not agree with that. He said that it is told in the Shastras and in the songs of Narottam Das Thakur that Navadvip Dham and Vrindavan Dham, they are identical abodes. They're identical. Navadvip is Vrindavan and Vrindavan is Navadvip. And those who worship Mahaprabhu in Navadvip Dham, what will happen? They will realize that this Ganga Devi in Navadvip Dham, when they bathe themselves and submerge into Ganga, and they're worshipping Krishna and Mahaprabhu and Radha and Krishna, then they will come out of the water and they will see, oh, I'm on the bank of the Yamuna at Keshigat. And so Narottam Das Thakur explains that. Gaur prema rasaranave, jai tarange jeva dube, se Radha Madhava Antaranga. Radha Madhava Antaranga means they will become an Antaranga Bhakta of Radha and Krishna. Se Radha Madhava Antaranga. Narottam Das is saying that Gaur Prem Rasa Arnave. That means the ocean of Gaur Prem. Arnava means ocean. Gaur Prema Ras Arnave. Jai Tarange, Se Tarange Jeva Dube. So that person who submerges himself in the ocean of Gaur Prem, Mahaprabhu's Gaur Prem, Se Tarange, the waves of that ocean, and they submerge themselves in those waves, Jeva Dube. Then, what does Narottam Das Thakur say? Say, that person, say, Radha Madhava Antaranga. He becomes an intimate internal associate of Radha Madhava, Krishna and Radha, by drowning in the waves of the ocean of Gaur Prem. So, Gurudev was saying that these two abodes of Navadvip Dham and Vrindavan Dham are equal and identical abodes. It's also told in that same song by Narottam Das Thakur. That they are identical. But it never says this about Sri Kshetra. Sri Nilachala Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, is not mentioned to be identical with Vrindavan Dham. And so Gurudev explained that in the transcendental Nitya Dham, Vrindavan, there, that planet, the lotus flower-shaped planet, has the internal whorl, and that internal whorl of that planet is Braja. That very same Braja descends into the material universe when Krishna comes and performs his pastimes in the material world. And when Krishna again comes in his Gauranga form, then the other half, the other side of Braja in the Nitya Dham, which is Shvetadvip, the abode of the eternal pastimes of Gauranga, Gaur Prem, the combined form of Radha and Krishna in the spiritual world, they're simultaneously. One side and the other side. They're both Braja. So when that Dham descends down, Mahaprabhu comes to this world, then that Navadvip Dham manifests on the material plane, but it's always transcendental. It's not affected. Just like Vrindavan, in where we go, northern India, where Krishna appeared and performed all of his pastimes, that place is eternal. We can't see with our material vision, but the pure devotees, like the 6 Goswamis, those who are completely situated in the highest levels of Krishna prema, they can actually see that real Chintamani Dham, that transcendental abode. But the eyes of the conditioned souls are covered. This is all very nicely explained in that book, Navadvip Dham Mahatmya. Very beautiful descriptions explaining how Prodamaya, the form of Maya Devi in Navadvip, she covers the eyes of the conditioned souls. They cannot see the Dham. But for those who become completely surrendered to the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu, then she raises that curtain and they can see. So what they can see is that the eternal pastimes of Sri Sachinandan, Gaur Hari, they're going on eternally. His Ashtakali Leela. Like Krishna has his Ashtakali Leela. His eightfold, 8 time divisions of the day and the night. 24 hours divided into 8 divisions. Ashtakal. So he has the Ashtakali Leela in Goloka Vrindavan, and in Shveta, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is also performing Ashtakali as his form of Gauranga, with his mother, his father, all of the whole village, and he does Harinam Sankirtan. He gets up and he worships, he performs like a Brahmana. He has that pastime there. And he worships the Lord and lives as a Brahmana and continuously is drinking Krishna prema in that eternal abode. So, the story that is related of the Surabhi and Markandeya Rishi, when he comes to consciousness after being fed her milk, and he gets revived, explains to him, oh, you are here in the eternal Navadvip Dham. This area is never affected. At the annihilation of the universe, this remains exactly the same. And so that pastime was told about that very place, that Surabhi Kunja, which became the residence of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur later on. He lived in that very place with his family members, and then about half a mile or even less, then he in his latter stages and lived there separately from the family, along with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And also Srila Gaura Das Babji Maharaj used to come there. So, yes. So the Navadvip Dham is the eternal abode of the Lord and manifests here on this material plane. It's called Bhauma Leela. So Lord Nityananda, he is the source of this first expansion called Sankarshan. Maha Mul Sankarshan, 2 different Sankarshans. And in that expansion, there are 4 forms of the Lord. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna. And you can identify these forms. Actually, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to Sanatana Goswami, you can see it in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya book also, that the different symbols of Vishnu are held differently in different hands. It's all described, 24 different forms, and from those, unlimited forms. So, it describes here that personality, Sankarshan, who is the first expansion of Lord Nityananda, he possesses full opulences. Purnaishwarya means endowed with, and he is there, Vyapi Vaikuntaloke, in Vaikuntaloka, which is Maya Tite, which means is beyond the material creation of Maya. So, Vyapi Vaikuntha Loke, all expanding. Vyapi means all expanding. So, Purnaishwarye, Sri Chaturvyuha Madhye, with full opulence, Aishwarya, that Sankarshan, he stands in the midst of the Chaturvyuha. Rupam Yasyo Dubhati, Sankarsanakyam, no, he Tam Srinatyananda Ramam Prapadye. I offer my obeisances to that, Nityananda Ram. And then, in the 9th verse, he's talking about his form of Karana Dakashai Vishnu lying on the Karana ocean. He says, Maya Bharata Janda Sanganga Shete Sakshat Ka Bodhi Madhye Yasyai Kamsha Shri Puman Adi Devas Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. Everyone can say, Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. I offer my full obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, whose partial representation, called Karana Dakashai Vishnu, lying on the Karana ocean, is the original Purusha. He is the master of the illusory energy. That is his position. He is the master of all the Maya potency. Maya Bharta. Maya Bharta means he's the Bharta, the master of Maya. Aja Anda Sangha, that means of the multitude of universes, because Anda means egg. Aja Anda Sangha. So Ashraya, he is the very shelter of all the universes. And Shete Sakshat Karanam Bodhi Madhye. He directly lies down in the Karana, in the midst of the causal ocean. Yasya Eka Amsha Shri Puman. Yes, he is that one single portion, Shri Puman, of the original Supreme Person, Adi Deva. He is the original Purusha incarnation. And he is just one Amsha, one representation of who? Sri Nityananda Ram. Posed by Sri Damodar Goswami. Now, verse 10. Now he's speaking about the second Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Yasyam Sham Shak Srila Garbhodakshai Yannabhyabjam Loka Sangatanalam Loka Shrashtu Sutika Dhamma Datus Tam Sri Nityananda Mam Prapadye. So now he says, Yasya Amsha, this verse. Then a portion of the portion of Mahavishnu, Karandakshay Vishnu. So, Shila Garbha Uda Shai, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, who's lying on the Garbha ocean. Yat Nabhyabjam Loka Sangata Nalam. Oh, from the navel of Garbhodakshay Vishnu sprouts the lotus. That is the birthplace of Brahma. And Brahma is what? He's the engineer of the universe. Loka Shrashtu. He creates the planet. But where does Lord Brahma, where does he the materials? Because Lord Brahma, he's not. Lord Brahma, he's a jiva. He's not like the Supreme Lord, that he has unlimited Shakti. So Lord Brahma is taking birth on the lotus flower that comes from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. This is a very interesting pastime. It's very, very scientific and very interesting, because the Supreme Lord has a navel, and all human beings also have a navel. And from that navel of the Supreme is coming what? The materials and the ingredients for what? The entire creation of what's going to be inside of the universe. And the human being, and in the female form, also has like this navel, right, of the umbilical cord. And through that umbilical, what?
Nourishment.
Everything. The ability of the body to take its form and shape and everything, right? So this is showing a reflection of the Supreme Lord, who is the original source of all energy. So he comes into the world, into the giant inner part of the universal shell, and fills up the bottom of the water called the Garbhodak. Garbha mean? Yeah, it means womb. Garbha udak. So just like a woman who gives birth, a human woman, there's also, what is it called? The water of the...
The water bag is...
No, there's a word for it. I'm forgetting now.
Amniotic fluid.
Amniotic.
That's amniotic.
Amniotic fluid, right? So the Lord has created this huge ocean, and he's lying down very nicely on Sheshanag. And from his navel, while he's sleeping, is coming a huge lotus flower. I mean, that's so beautiful. That the Lord, he's not working hard to do anything. And this lotus flower comes from his navel. Okay? And then Lord appears there. So that means that Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the father of Lord Brahma. Okay? Lord Brahma is also called Aja, which means unborn, because he wasn't in womb. He appeared. But still he's coming from Garbhodakshaya. And Lord Brahma does not know where there's no light. He can't see anything. No ability to see or understand where he is. So what does he first try to do? By sense of touch.
He explores.
Yes, he's trying to, by sense of touch, understand where he is, what he is on, and he gets some idea that it seems like I'm on this lotus flower, gigantic, huge lotus flower, but then he realizes there's a stem, so he tries to climb down the stem of the lotus flower, but he sees only darkness. So he climbs back up. And now he's on the top of the lotus flower. This is what I'm telling you, it's all from the second canto of the Bhagavatam. And now he has this strong urge to gain knowledge, to know where he is, who he is, what his purpose is, all of this. So from the darkness comes a transcendental sound vibration. And what is that sound vibration? 2 syllables. Ta, pa, ta, pa. Tapa means austerity. Tapasya. Tapa. It means austerity. So this is the first sound vibration in the universe coming from the Lord himself. And because Lord Brahma is so supremely intelligent, he immediately understands, he's endowed with this incredible intelligence. So he immediately understands, oh, I must do tapa. then he does tapasya for thousands of years.
He sees it as an instruction.
Yes, he takes it as an instruction. And through that, he now becomes eligible to receive the mercy of the Lord. He followed the instruction. By the way, I just want to say that Srila Prabhupada, in this connection, he explains, from the very beginning of the universe, the principle of tapasya is the active principle for anything that is going to happen in the universe. If anybody wants to accomplish anything, what do they have to do? Tapasya. Yes, it doesn't come without that. Tapasya. It is essential to accomplish anything in the world. Tapasya. And so Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he also explains different types of tapasya, and tapasya in the 3 modes of nature, 3 different types like this. So Lord Brahma then, he receives directly from Krishna, he receives the transcendental sound vibration of Krishna's flute. And by that sound vibration of Krishna's flute, then comes the Kama Gayatri mantra. Kama Gayatri mantra. From the mouth of Lord Brahma. And this Gayatri mantra is the origin, it is the mother of all the Vedas. So this is how the Vedic knowledge came into the universe from the first created being and is disseminated down through the disciplic succession from Brahmaji, you see. So this pastime of the Supreme Lord manifesting the lotus flower actually is the material ingredients through which Brahma creates. Because I remember Srila Prabhupada was explaining this very clearly on one tape. He said, Lord Brahma, he does not create anything. Also Gurudev was explaining this. Yeah, I remember it now. Lord Brahma does not create anything. He's like a person who is going to be the engineer of a big construction project, right? But he's not the source of the cement and the steel and everything else that will be needed for the construction, okay?
Or the blueprints.
Yeah, he's not the source. But he's endowed with the intelligence and with the creative urge, and he knows what to do, you know? I mean, look, even little animals, every species, they know what to do. They're born, they develop their little baby dog body or cat body or whatever, and then they know what to do. They know what to eat, they know what to do. They're endowed with that. So every living being, from the fish to the insects, to every single species is endowed by the Paramatma within the heart with the knowledge that they need to go about their life. Human beings. But that endowment, the knowledge that they have to act, they still require so many things to live their life. That's also provided. Whatever food they need is also completely provided. The little insects, if you watch them here in New Braj, sitting and chanting and watching the bumblebees and the wasps and the birds, and, they're all very busy. They know what to do, and they know where to look, and they know, you see the birds flying here and there with little twigs in their mouth, and they're building their nests, and it's all going on. The whole nature is all going on automatically. Nobody's controlling that, except for who? The Lord who's in the heart of everyone. Yeah. So Brahmaji is already placed there in that position from his previous life, and he was highly, highly exalted personality, realized soul. Now he has to perform this function as a service to the Lord of being the sub-creator. And where does he get the ingredients from to create? He doesn't create those ingredients. He gets them from the lotus stem, from the stem. He knows how to take it from the stem of the lotus flower of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And from there, he creates all the planets, all the bodies of all the different species and so forth. But he does not create the jivas, the jivatmas who inhabit all these millions of species of life. He does not create that.
Does he connect them?
He does to some extent, but you know who performs that function? Yes, Shiva. He has that ability to extract the jivas from the material creation. When the dissolution of the universe, Lord Shiva also does that task. He extracts all the unlimited numbers of jivas and places them in the body of Mahavishnu until the next creation. Then again they come out. So those jivas are there. And Lord Shiva has some function there. Lord Brahma does not create those jivas. He can place them in the appropriate places. So anyway, this is a very mystical, very incredible arrangement. No one could ever imagine this because this is the absolute truth. It's beyond our conception. That personality, Sutika Dhamma Dhatu, that personality who sprouts the lotus flower, who lies on the Garbhodak ocean, and on that lotus flower comes Lord Brahma, then personality from whom this Garbhodakshaya Vishnu comes, Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. That is Nityananda Rama. So tomorrow we'll read the 11th verse. Actually, we should just read it now, because this finishes the verses about Lord Nityananda. So this is the 11th verse. Now he says, Yas Yam Sham Sham Sha. So here, Yas Yam Sha Amsha Amsha. He's saying it 3 times. Yas Yam Sham Sham Sha. Paramatma Kilana. That means portion of a plenary portion. Paramatma, the super soul. Akilanam. He is the super soul of all living beings. Poshta Vishnur Bhati Dugdabdashayi. He is the Poshta. He is Vishnu. Means he's the maintainer. Dugda Abdi Shayi. Dugda actually also means milk. So Dugda Abdi, the milk ocean, Shayi. He's lying on the milk ocean. Kshoni Bharta. He is the upholder of the earth. Yat Kala Sa Api Ananta. And he is also the source of the last part called Sheshanaga. Sheshanaga, in the 5 different forms. Sheshanaga is the last form. Yasyam Sham Sham Shak Paramatma Kilanam Poshta Vishnur Bhati Dugdabdashayi Kshoni Bharta Yat Kalasopyanandas Ramam Prapadye. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, whose secondary part is the Vishnu lying in the ocean of milk. That Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is the super soul, the Paramatma of all living entities and the maintainer of all the universes. Sheshanaga is his further sub-part. So in this way, these 5 have been written by Swarup Damodar Goswami to glorify the truth about Lord Nityananda. So Swarup Damodar Goswami knows everything, because Swarup Damodar Goswami is Lalita Devi herself appearing in Gaur Lila, and there's no one more knowledgeable than the Braj, who are the direct expansions of Srimati Radhika. So he came in this form to assist Krishna in trying to taste the transcendental Unnata Ujjvala Rasa, Prem Rasa of Srimati Radhika. And he was the greatest scholar. So Swarup Damodar Goswami and various other very senior personalities, like Advaita Acharya, like Ramananda Roy. I mean, these personalities are top level in the whole universe and beyond. Even top level. You can't get higher level than they are. And they come into this world. So we're reading the direct composition from a person that is descended from Goloka Vrindavan, who is an expansion of Srimati Radhika and the most intimate associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We're reading his poem that he's composing here. So how rich is this Chaitanya Charitamrita? We should try to worship this book. It's not a book, it's Mahaprabhu himself. We should relish and taste, because this Chaitanya Charitamrita is the essence of all knowledge. So in this way, Kaviraj Goswami has composed these verses. Tomorrow we'll read the 2 shlokas of his composition for glorifying Sri Advaita Acharya. And then he glorifies the Pancha Tattva. And then after that he glorifies the 3 forms of the Lord who manifest in Vrindavan, Madan Mohan, Govinda, Gopinath. And he begins to offer his obeisances to all of his spiritual masters, beginning with the 6 Goswamis, and like this. And then at a certain point, then he begins to give the benedictions for all the readers who are going to read this great work. And there are 3 different Mangala Charanas. We'll discuss about that, defining the object, giving blessings like this. So, and then we will enter into the main topic of the chapter, which is Guru Tattva. And that the way in which Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has presented that is very astonishing. And the verses that he's composed to describe the Guru Tattva, and then the commentaries by Jiva Goswami and others, they are so perfect. If someone studies that, they will fully understand the topic of Sri Guru. We've been discussing Guru Tattva. So in this way, we are continuing with our reading of chapter 1, Adi Lila Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pada Ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai, Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Panchatattva Ki Jai, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu Ki Jai, Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Panchakalpatarubhascha Sindhu Begacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Gurudev, Jai Prabhupada Ki Jai. You want to lead the artik?
Oh.
You can sing the artik. Very good.
Jai Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu.
Jai.